We are actually moving all of our production infrastructure into Google Cloud, so we'll be serving all of our traffic from Google. So we use, of course, like GCS, their storage system, their computing environment, and we really heavily use their data infrastructure. So we use things like BigQuery, Bigtable, Dataflow, TensorFlow. We have a huge machine learning environment that utilizes TensorFlow, and we do 8 billion model predictions a day on Google's platform and process, well, inbound, 9 terabytes of data every day. How has moving to the cloud impacted the pace of our business? Well, back when we started, everything was gated by the lead time of actually acquiring the systems that we need to develop the stuff that we want to do. So a good example today is we do ID monitoring for all of our customers. So we take our 80 million consumers and we say, hey, on the dark web, we've seen this password that you use leak. Maybe it was in an Anthem breach or a Target breach or something like that. So back in 2007, to do something like that, I would have actually had to figure out, well, how much compute do I need? How much storage? What kind of processing? I would have to actually go bid all that out, order it. There's a 3 to 6 month lead time, and then we could actually start building the product. Today, it's just like I go to our cloud team, they can actually spin that stuff up the next day after they've figured out all the security requirements, and we're good to go. So the lead time is so different. And the technology choices are very different too, because back then I was really bound by what we could do in our own infrastructure, which is limited by, just like what can a 100 to 1,000 person company, possibly achieve. In Google land, they do things like BigQuery, which are just not possible unless you're at Google, Microsoft, Amazon scale. So being able to leverage that without having to build it is a massive advantage. Sure, so we've spun out a bunch of products on cloud. So one is, if you need money right now, so let's say you have a flat tire, you have a dentist bill, and you need to figure out, like, what's the best way for me to get $500 to cover this expense? Our system will actually go out and predict, like, what is every bank, what is every offer that you could potentially get? What's the best way to get that $500 right now? We can do that much faster on cloud than we could do on our own infrastructure if we ever want to change that or add a new thing. Like right now we're starting to do mortgages and auto loans. We can spin that stuff up on cloud right away. Also, we now offer free e-filing, free tax filing to all Americans. That also is cloud-based, and that kind of thing would just be so difficult if we had to manually figure out, like, what infrastructure do we need and try to predict all of the needs of that business for a year or 2 years at the time we decide to spin it up. Here we can actually be a lot more agile. We can say, hey, we want to move into something, and we're going to figure out what it needs as we go, leveraging the state of the art, as it comes, rather than trying to predict, industry trends 2-3 years in advance.